Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at this rechargeable LED floodlight that I got from Lazada. Now I'll start by showing you the advert. You can see here that it says 30 watt cordless LED floodlight, and if we scroll through the pictures here you'll see that it shows the back of the unit with 3 batteries inside. There are 18650 batteries and a USB cable and USB charger. Now what I got is a little bit different. To start with, I didn't get a USB charger, I got this basic wall charger. Problem with that is that I was planning to use power banks to charge this since they're USB as well, so I'm not very happy that it's come with this. And then the next weird thing, which doesn't really matter, is that it says it's a 50 watt model. So yeah, we've jumped from 30 watts to 50 watts, and I never even believed that it was 30 watts, let alone 50 watts, because look at those LEDs, there's no way they're going to be pushing out 30 watts or 50 watts, but I'm hoping that we're going to get at least, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20, but yeah, we'll see whether we actually do. So let's take the back off and have a look inside the unit. Unfortunately, there is no rubber seal here, so it's not actually going to be water resistant or waterproof, which is a shame because it looks like the rest of this would actually be pretty water resistant. They've even put this rubber grommet here, but yeah, they haven't put the rubber seal in this back piece here. Inside you'll find 3 ultrafire batteries. Now these are probably fake. Now in fact these aren't ultrafire at all. I misread it because I'm so used to seeing ultrafire, but these are unarmed fire. So yeah, definitely fake generic batteries. They say they have a rating of 4,200 milliamp hour. That's going to be complete nonsense. It's probably going to be something like 1,000 or 1,500. So yeah, completely ignore that because not even the big brands make a 4,200 milliamp hour 18650. So complete nonsense, complete lie. And you see they're all running in parallel. So let's put the back cover back on. This rubber grommet that I removed is just where the charger goes in. Again, I was expecting a USB charger. One thing I'm going to do is see if it's got an onboard regulator to drop the voltage, because if it does I might be able to cut this off and then just put a USB lead on the end and use it like that. As for the stand itself, it's really not that great. Basically you can have the light like that, or you can have it like that. If you try and put it in any of the in-between ones, as soon as it gets knocked it basically falls down. So yeah, and I've tried tightening these up so much to the point where I think they're actually going to break. So yeah, it's really not very good construction quality. And same with this one down here, it doesn't feel very good. Even if you do it very tight, it doesn't really lock in place. So it's not great quality, but then it was only 1,000 pesos, so I knew it wasn't going to be amazing. Now if you look at the LEDs at the front here, you might be wondering what this top row is, and I was wondering what they are, but you're about to find out. So this green button here turns on the light. The first setting is low brightness, the second setting is high brightness, and the third setting is police lights or emergency lights. So yeah, that's what that top row is for. I'm not really sure why they put that in there, because in most countries you wouldn't be allowed to actually use that even if there was an emergency, but there you go, it's built in. Now one thing I would say immediately looking at this is that there's no way this is 50 watts and there's no way it's 30 watts, because I can look directly into those and it doesn't even blind me. So I'm guessing it's actually going to be more like 5 watts. Imagine that, they're selling this as a 50 watt light and I'm guessing it's going to be around 5 watts, but we're actually going to do a test and work out exactly how much power it is. Now if it turns out that this is really far off 30 watts and it doesn't have an onboard regulator to charge from USB, I'll probably end up sending this back. So any test we have to do has to be non-destructive, so I can't desolder wires or anything like that. Now if we take a look at the back, we have the 3 batteries in parallel. We know they're in parallel because if we turn on the light and then take out one battery, you can see it's still running. Take out another battery, still running, because they're all in parallel. So the voltage is anywhere from 3.7 volts up to 4.2 volts. Now we know that a fully charged 18650 is roughly around 4.2 volts. So that's what we're going to use to power this from our power supply. So I've set my power supply to 4.2 volts. Let's connect to the light. Okay, well I can't really clip on there, so I'll just hold it against it and then turn on the light. So first brightness setting, that's 4.2 volts at, let's say, 0.3 amp. Full brightness, 1 amp, 4.2 volts. So that is, what, 4.2 watts. And if we go to the emergency light, that's around, let's say round it up and be generous, 0.2. So come on, This thing, which is supposedly a 30-watt lamp, or according to the box a 50-watt, is actually coming out of 4.2 watts. That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, what do? Do they just sit around and say like, oh, let's just put 50 on the box? No, let's put 100 on the box. Like, they just make up numbers. 4.2 watts, and they sell it as a 50 watt or a 30 watt. It's just ridiculous, come on. And why have they put this massive heatsink on there? It's like you're just wasting your money. You don't need a big heatsink like that just for 4.2 watts of LEDs. So basically this thing is as bright or less bright than most of my LED torches. So yeah, this thing is not very good. So although it's nowhere near the rated power, let's see if it does have an onboard regulator for feeding in 5 volts and dropping it down to 4.2 volts, because the advert showed a USB charger and a USB lead charging this. So I'm just going to use this little adapter to connect, and I'll set my power supply to 5 volts. And what I've done is I put a battery in there so we can check the polarity of this, because I don't want to feed in the power the wrong way. Okay, so the bottom is negative. The fact that we're getting a straight through voltage gives me an idea that there's probably no regulator in there, but let's try this anyway. So I'll just remove the battery. And now let's measure what's coming through to the battery connectors. 5 volts. So if I was to put my batteries in there, it's going to overcharge them at 5 volts. So there is no onboard regulator. They're basically just hoping that you only use the charger that came with it, which is already rated at 4.2 volts. So that pretty much says I'm going to send this back, because it's nowhere near the rated output, and I can't charge it from USB like it showed in the advert. The whole idea is that I wanted to connect power banks to this so I could run it for like days at a time. So yeah, I'll probably send this back. But what I will do first is wait until it goes dark outside and just show you how much this actually lights up an area. So you might be interested, and at least you'll be able to see. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.